never speak. Baby, that ain't for me. That ain't for me. I dug my grave watching the way you move. You took me higher than I ever flew. Too many times gave you a second chance. Baby, I'm just a man. I'm just a man. No, I'm thinking about you late night. No, I'm running around with your friends now. They're picking the pieces of my soul about the floor. I said I would die for you, baby. But I can't touch this pain no more. I thought I was willing, but tonight I'm saying.
All right. Good morning. Good morning. Hopefully everyone is feeling good, feeling as if they're a little refreshed. It is a Thursday. After a massive reversal, right? Woo! What a move. Anyway, I need to figure out how to get my what's it called? My disclosure back up. Hey, maybe it's right here. Hey, there it is. I won't get in trouble. Take a look at the disclosure before we get to it. All right, guys. My name is Scott Redler. I am the Chief Strategic Officer of T3Live.com. Welcome to today's 6:30 Club. It's actually 6:33. So much stuff to do in the morning. I'm trying to get here by by what's it called 6:30 on the nose, because I know it's a pain when you're sitting there waiting. You know, I tell this story about all the time when I was doing the Ironman and the marathons. You know, it'd be like Saturday morning at like 5:30 in the morning in November, and everyone's wearing spandex because that's what you're wearing when we're on a racing bike. And 30 seconds is a long time to sit there waiting for somebody to come. So it's poor etiquette. Anyway, I'll try and do better. With that being said, let me say what's up to some of my dogs around the world. We got Mr. Myers coming in. We got Beer Guy. Hey, it's Thursday. You can do Beer Guy. We got Tapa and what up? We got D.A. Rangel. We got Ali. We got Jose, Allison, Blair. What up? What up? It's always in the house. We're trying to get it done, huh? I like this part of the song right here.
But I can't take this pain no more. I thought I was willing.
Anyway, I love that song. So with that being said, let's get to it. All right. So what's going on? Wow, look at the size of that candle. I gotta say, these computers are good. You know, I feel like I came in yesterday. I had a few longs on into the CPI. I was kind of hoping we'd have a little bit of a softer CPI. I was in some NVIDIA, some Amazon, a bunch of different things, a little Apple. Sold some really well before the 830 number, and then boom, the 830 number happened and things kind of got hit. Was fluttering around because, you know, I sold some strength. I was able to buy some stuff back. They didn't hit the market. And then all of a sudden, you know, they just went after the market in the first portion of the day, where you could kind of see right here. And, you know, the bottom line is, you know, you had that 540 held. When 540 was holding, you know, you had the semiconductors making higher lows. You had NVIDIA still green. You had the Q still, you know, not back there. And I was like, guys, it feels like we're not going to break this low when, you know, we have all these other things that are strong, FSLR. And then really it was right here when, you know, you had, it was a few spots. It was right here when, you know, kind of rallied back up to this spot, and then, you know, couldn't get rejected. And then from there, pretty much trended up the whole day. So you could have done a bunch of things. You could have A, watched, which is fine. B, shorted the entire rally because you're like, oh, the CPI is kind of hot. They're not going to cut 50 basis points, and shorted the entire afternoon, got your clock cleaned. Or you could have picked the little spots and said, hey, maybe now I'm going to take a step back. It's 6:36 on September 12th, and maybe it's a character change. And if it's a character change, then there'll be so many friggin' opportunities in the next days, weeks, months that who cares if you kind of miss this day. But at least if you knew the pivots, which you did, right? First, it was right here. It would have been nice if it stopped there. They broke it below, held that Friday low, reclaimed it. So that meant the active bulls took the ball back. And then it actually showed power and squeezed the Cajonis out when you got above 549. But right now, we're coming into this 555, 556 area. If you look here at the SPYs, you know, we're up, you know, $1.40. We're up a little bit higher, actually. Where's your And this is where we broke down from, if you remember, on September 3rd when we started September. So chances are, if you do have some positions, this would be a spot to trim some at first kiss. Doesn't mean you could just short there, but it's going to be a tricky spot to get through at first kiss, especially considering where we came from. So you got to be just a little careful. That's all I'm saying, is be a little careful. Maybe even, you trim into it and then we pull in and then we hold better and then you buy some things that you think are showing leadership. So yesterday we did a video on Amazon. Amazon, to me, could be the one of the better patterns in Mag 7 moving forward. You had this nice tight inside range. Not going to talk the debate, but Trump did not do a great job. I love his policies, but again, anyway, I'm not going to get into it. He has a problem with the Washington Post and Jeff all the time. So anyway, if he doesn't win, I'm not saying he's not going to. The rhetoric towards Amazon might be a little bit different, and Amazon has AWS, it has everything. It's really done nothing besides this little false breakout move when the market wanted to top. It's been in the channel really since last March. So it did poke its head above here. Dips are probably buyable. Amazon is something to have at the top of your go-to list. Okay. So everyone's like, Red Dog, what could be next? Let's talk about what could be next. So what could be next is Meta, which has been really, really hard. I'll be honest with you. It hasn't worked out well, but that's probably because the market hasn't given the green light that you could buy things to make higher lows and higher highs. So maybe we're at that spot with the change of character yesterday in the reversal. So at this point, you have an inside range. You probably could even change this pattern a little bit. You could draw a descending channel here, right? This is a descending channel here, into what's a really big chart or channel here. So you have a real big sideways channel, and then you have a descending channel. So chances are next time it tries to get above this, what's this? This is 514. Maybe it could actually get above and then work its way back towards the highs of this move. So to me, Meta is something that, what's it up? It's up 277. It's right there. Unfortunately, you probably need to be in a little bit, but it gets above that. Chances are you could use that as a swing. So that's probably second in line to technically the better names in the Mag 7. And then my third one, I'm going to say, is Tesla. And Tesla's been really hard. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Even yesterday, like, they had to bring it in so much before coming back up. To me, this Tesla is still, looking pretty decent. It's down $1, so this might even be bigger. Just the size of the travel range in Tesla. So, you look from the low of 218 all the way up. If maybe it comes to 224 or something, you could be buying this dip, and then at some point, I know that my buddy Jake and some of those guys are talking about this volume shelf here to fill. That this should be like third in line in the Mag 7 names. And then some things will play catch up and this and that, but those are like the three. Todd D says uranium. Yes, uranium had a big move yesterday. My buddy Pete was just saying, hey, when I mentioned that's not uranium, what's it called? Uranium spike yesterday. A lot of guys went out and bought a lot. So if that's you, congratulations. I did not. I wasn't buying uranium. But at this point, the CCJ, I guess, gave you enough of a wide range bar that perhaps it continues. What's CCJ doing this morning? Up 77 cents, giving you a little bit of follow through. There was a lot of follow through around the world today. You had a strong reversal in the U.S. market, so Europe is green. The Nikkei was up 3% or so. So again, VKTX, a lot of guys are in that. Oh, there, yeah, that's what I was looking for. URA. This too, I remember this. It's so funny. I remember, like, when I stopped trading something, you see the lines disappear. I was trading uranium into this move, and then it broke, and then I haven't looked at it since. So yesterday, if you happen to have, again, been out of the way and said, wow, look at this little double bottom, maybe uranium has a move, or some of these commodities. Anyway, it's not a leadership group, and they don't trade that great, but I guess, you could get some action up into that area. VKTX woke up yesterday. That's one of the names that my traders love to trade. They're in a lot of options for November. It was upgraded yesterday, came right into here. There's a whole big void here. It can work its way back towards, 71. The XBI actually looks better, right? The XBI is up 40 cents. Um, VKTX is up $1 and change, giving you some follow through. So this does look good. There's a lot of stocks that look much better now. I'm not. I'll be honest. So, you know, just because you didn't catch the major reversal yesterday that really happened and was kind of surprising, um, don't pound your head against the wall. Just adjust. Okay, Lilly also looks pretty good now. Remember we were talking about how it looks like a bear flag, like a lot of things did, and then bear flags ignite when they break. It didn't break, and now see if it heads back up. This too is a leadership stock, right? Now you can kind of get rid of this upper area that broke. If you got stopped out, it happens. Now you could kind of draw this and see how it rebuilds here. This is a new upper level. It held the 50-day, and now it's got some room back towards here. And if you got stopped out, right around there, then maybe you rebought it into there. I'm just saying, markets have to do some discovery. So LLY is what? It's up another 5. So anyway, that's a leadership stock. DraftKings had a nice move. ASTS looked good yesterday. Yeah, I sold puts on ASTS. There's some kind of big launch today, so I didn't want to be in the stock, but I sold some puts to collect like $3.50. So sometimes there's a lot of different ways to approach names depending on how you want to do it. Anyway, Apple, someone asked me, Apple looks decent. Apple was a little wishy-washy yesterday. I was long Apple coming in and sold some strength and got out of the way, and I never went back to it. Apple looks like it could work at least back towards 225. Looks pretty good. And I think there's a buy imbalance there versus sell imbalance. It's flattish, so maybe there's still some opportunity there. What's Amazon doing? Amazon's only up 18 cents. So, the problem with like moves like this, if you're like, oh, I love Amazon, I missed it yesterday, you buy it today and you might have to deal with a little retracement if the market wants to retrace a little bit yesterday. So, this 182 would be a good spot if it soared, but that's not a spot to run and get out. It's a spot to buy more. Or this is where it really broke out from. If you're looking at the day chart of Amazon, that's right here. So if you feel like you're not in it and you want to buy some, you buy some and say, hey, I'll buy some here. If it goes, I'll have a little bit. If it doesn't and comes in, you'll buy more here or here and not get, hit out. Because sometimes if you have to understand where it was the prior day. NVIDIA led the tape. NVIDIA had its power, its little pocket pivot down here. I talked about if you can get above 109, chances are it's got some room. It reclaimed a lot of moving averages. It's on its way to 122. Overall, it's been in a consolidation for pretty much since the highs in June. So it was nice. NVIDIA leads the market. I'll tell you, yesterday it made a lot of people a lot of money. Like even my other friend. But again, I always talk to some of my friends in the morning on the way here. Like, Red Dog, what a great call you had at 11 o'clock, 11:30 when the spies were knocking on 940, 943 and the video was up. You're like, the first time it's showing true leadership. I went out and bought the SOXL, which is an ETF for the what's it called? For the semis. I bought some Qs, I bought some this, I bought some that. I'm like, all right, well, maybe when you're doing all that, taking my commentary as I'm broadcasting to free new trials, the Alpha Team, Redler All Access, I'm tweeting, I'm this and that. Give me a little push and say, hey, Red Dog, I see that too. I'm buying a few hundred SOXL, or I'm buying this, or I'm doing that. Let's all work together. I give. But that's my job as the Chief Strategic Officer. So it's fine. SMCI, it seems like it's perking its head up. It's been a broken name. From down here, maybe it wants to work towards this gap area. This is 487. So yeah, it looks fine. I think ARM is much better. ARM is actually showing some leadership. I spoke about this in the 6:30 club on Monday. I said, hey, maybe you guys could buy some ARM. The new chip is going to be in Apple, et cetera, and look at this nice move. So, and the high was 185. So ARM, I think you between NVIDIA, ARM, okay, SOXL, and Avago, you don't need to do other semis unless there's a real setup there. Remember Avago's Red Dog reversal? What's a Red Dog reversal? Well, I should put this in the frigging glossary of Red Dog reversals, like the ultimate Red Dog reversals, because you had it right here. It went below 136.60, held the 200-day. That was your buy. This could have been your stop. Then it was even down a little bit, because I remember buying it down a little bit. And then it got above the gap, right? If something closes a big gap from earnings, that means nothing. Filled the gap to the penny. So if you sold it there, then you had another dip to buy. And then now look at this 3-day move. This 3-day move in a Vago with a calculated plan could have made your September and maybe even made your quarter if you were lower. So every now and then things pop up, and then you could take advantage of it if you're in the right frame of mind. And a Vago is one of those names. Like, wow. AMD, I just feel like it's not really worth the time, but it had a move too. You can't kiss all the babies. Remember, I say that a lot. It had a 3-day move, but again, it's neither here or there. If you focus on it, just everyone has a different list of names they focus on, which is what you need to do. What a go-to list is a list of names you watch every day. You can see when it shows relative strength, relative weakness. You know how to make money with them every day because it's like they're like your children. You know how they're behaving sometimes. So when they're behaving poorly, you're like, I'm going to stay away. When they're behaving well, like yesterday, into the market decline, if you knew and you've been watching the video and you know how heavy it's been, you're like, wow, it's really, showing relative strength and leadership for the first time. That could have got you at least away from being short and maybe in the video and then maybe, playing a rally that transpired. But if you're all over the place and you're looking at this and you're looking at that and you have no, barometers, for what's happening, you're going to always be, like a chasing your tail. Holding the video or sell before you're 30, it depends on how much you have. So, if you had NVIDIA and NVIDIA is only up 95 cents, and just say you bought 1,000 shares yesterday and it's up, giving you a little bit of follow through, sell 300 up 95 cents. If you have 500 shares, sell 200. If you have 200 shares, sell 100, hold 100. All depends on what you have, and then see. Because again, the spies are coming into a spot that could be a little tricky in the first part of the day, right? From 539, 542 down here. Now this is where it broke down from. So there could be some sellers there. So the last thing you want to do is all of a sudden be like, we have a change of character. I'm, diving in. And then all of a sudden the first hour is a little bit of a sell program and it retraces. And then all of a sudden holds and continues. So you have to know where things came from. Or if you have 8,100 shares, that's a nice amount. So sell 2,100. So I'm talking to Alan right here. So you could see these are the guys that ask questions and whatnot. So if you're on YouTube, you could talk to me. So Alan's saying that, he has 8,100 shares of NVIDIA. That's a big position. Good for you. Anyway, I would trim some. I don't know. Do you have 8,100 shares for the last 2 years, or did you buy it yesterday into the reversal? Some things you have to think about, when you're navigating. Anyway, so with all that being said, it is 6:50. I got to jump. Again, big reversal yesterday. Hopefully that's a real change of character, and maybe now, a little less whippiness, a little less misdirection, and you could actually buy a few things and buy a dip, add to them, sell them, buy them, add to, sell them, and and have more of that kind of trade. Yes, IBM has been a really good trade for some. There's been a lot of good things going on. So, if you feel like you're caught up in a circle of despair, step away, get a little smaller, make a few good trades, feel better, and then all of a sudden get your groove back, right? What was that movie? Stella's Got a Groove Back. Well, do it as like whatever your name is. It has his groove back. Just if you don't stop the bleeding, you're never gonna repair yourself and get stronger. So anyway, with that being said, what's up, Rick? It's September after all. I'm pretty darn certain we'll see more volatility. That's true. That is true. So, don't be all in, have a lot of cash, play some moves, don't be perfect, and, just navigate and be prepared. If you're prepared, you can handle most things. If you're not prepared, you have no idea what to look at. You have no idea what the key to certain situations are, and you're never going to make a living at this. I've been doing this since 1999. It's 2024. Holy cow, I'm an old bastard. And sometimes, we're in pockets where we're killing it, and sometimes it's like, wow, I keep getting an 11 versus 6. I'm doubling down. That's the right thing to do. And I'm not getting that face card. I'm getting like a 4, and then the dealer turns over. He's got a 6. Like, oh, maybe he could bust. He's turned over a 10. You get excited, and then he gets a 5 and a 21 and takes your money. Like, okay, that kind of sucked. But I would do the same thing again. As long as you know you would do the same thing again, you're not doing anything wrong. Just sometimes, things are a little bit more, just some things just make more sense, and some things, it all depends on how it works out. So anyway, at this point, you have your reversal, what we call day one reversal. Just know this is some pivot resistance, and right now the SPYs are pretty much, right there. They were at 550, 570. So the last thing you really want to do is go guns a-blazing buying here. There could even be a better cute little short if you see a signal for it to go from up to down a little bit, but then chances are, you want to be buying a little bit of a dip. And where would that be? So you want to map that out. So you say, hey, if we go red, I don't want to get all bearish. I want to say, hey, look at the size of the move we had. Chances are 552-ish could be bought, or if they really wanted to play around, which sometimes they do, 550 could be bought, and that's still from 540 or 542 up to here. It's not the end of the world if all of a sudden we go and we come in, and then that's a better spot to see what's showing some relative strength to get some re-entries or to get bigger. And that's that. Happy Thursday, my friends. If you're on the Alpha team, you're testing it out for the week. I'll see you in a little bit. I'm about to do 40 charts, play some music, drink my iced coffee, and get the day started and try and have a good mood. Better to be in a good mood than wondering how much, or the woulda, coulda, shoulda, right? Again, woulda, coulda, shoulda does nothing for you. And if grandma had balls, guess who she'd be? She'd be grandpa. And guess what? She's grandma. Hopefully you have your grandma still. I don't have mine anymore, and I miss her and him. Anyway, I have my parents though, so that's good. I'm gonna give them a call and say hello. Always call your parents. It's not a bad idea. Bye, guys.